Good morning. It's 7:04 on this Thursday, March 3rd. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome a rainy Thursday morning. We're glad to have you with us. And, of course, it's Thursday. This time we're on the air for Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road, Lebanon, Tennessee, the dealer to trade for anything it don't eat. Well, Paul Tubbs is with us this morning, but he decided to call in, and that might be a wise decision. It's certainly going to work. Paul is on the line. Paul Tubbs, the dealer operations manager, and a good morning to you.
Good morning.
Into each life, some rain must fall, and so we've had some rain and quite an abundance of it over the night.
Yeah, it was rough out there last night. I got a phone call from family where they said there was a sighting of a tornado on Coles Ferry Pike, and so we kind of took cover and looked and seen, and it was kind of a little rough night, but everybody's safe and sound, and we blessed that, and we're happy that everybody in Lebanon's safe. I don't think there was any touchdown tornadoes or anything around us, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, maybe a little local flooding, but I don't think the ditch in front of my house is even overflowed this morning. So anyway, let's talk about Bates Ford again, the dealer to trade for anything that don't eat. There's plenty to talk about.
Yeah, we got a lot going on at Bates. Our used car selection, we've got a really, really good selection of used cars, everything from the $10,000 price to, new F-150s. We've got a good selection of new vehicles as well. Ford's done a great job whenever me and Tony decided to move from our 1673 location over to our new location. One thing, we met with Ford and they agreed to let us have a lot more new vehicles. At our old location, we would have probably 25 to 50 new vehicles depending on, our sales. Now we've got over 150, so we've got a great selection of new vehicles. So if there's something you're looking for, feel free to give us a call, or you can go on our website at www.tonybatesford.com. And, all of our vehicles, we have a company that comes in and they take pictures of the interior, exterior, where you can actually get a really good look at the vehicle online as well.
Well, that's a good way to start, and then chances are you're going to see something you like, and you can go and have one of your friendly salespeople help you out further. Ronnie, of course, is not with us this morning. Ronnie Kelly, who does the commercial with Paul Tubbs most of the time. He and you have ample salespeople there to take care of people's needs, I know.
Yeah, we've got about 12 salespeople, and Ronnie Kelly actually had to go to a Rotary meeting this morning, so he's done a really good job of getting out in the community and doing stuff for the company. And he's kind of stepped back from selling as much as he was, and he's kind of, just going out and doing a lot of community stuff for us and making sure that, he helps us get our name out there and make sure that everybody in the community knows that, Bates is really involved in helping out. So he's at the Rotary meeting this morning.
Yeah, well, one of the things that I think you've kind of become famous for, really, is the cheapest oil change in town. And you've managed to hold the price on that and stay really busy doing it.
Yeah, that's something that we pride ourselves on. We've got, a really, really, really cheap oil change, $39.95. It's up to 5 quarts. It's a synthetic blended. I always say, there's certain vehicles, Toyotas, Hondas, other makes that takes a full synthetic. We can't use full synthetic oil on a $39.95 oil change, but we do a synthetic blended oil change for $39.95. That's up to 5 quarts. And then, of course, at Bates Ford, when we do an oil change, we don't just slap oil in there and send you on your way. We do a full inspection. We'll look at your brakes, your batteries, your tires, make sure everything's in good shape, hoses, look the car over real well. We fill out what we call a multi-point inspection, where we'll give you a red, yellow, and green. If everything's green, that means it's good to go. If it's yellow, that's future attention. And if it's red, it needs immediate attention. So if there's something in the red, we'll come, whether you're at Bates Ford, sitting in the waiting room, or whether or not you're not there, we'll give you a call, let you know what you need. If that's something you can do, we'll try to give it immediate attention.
Yeah, and we want to call attention to you usually do this, and I'll beat you to it this morning. The fact that you've got you really got a way of taking care of people anymore to come and pick up your car, take care of it, and bring it back to you.
Yeah, that's a program Ford implemented about a year and a half ago, where it's a pickup and delivery, where we've got several customers. I have a lot of people that'll call me and say, "Hey, can you send somebody to get my vehicle?" What we do is we'll schedule generally between 5 to 8 a day, depending on what kind of work it is. But we'll send somebody to pick your vehicle up, and when they come get it, we'll bring it back to Bates Ford. We'll service it. If there's anything that does need attention, we'll give you a call, say, "Hey, you need this or that." But they have a nice little text program. When they're coming to get your vehicle, it'll send you a text and say Bates Ford's on the way to get your car. Then once we get it, it says Bates Ford, your vehicle's back at Bates Ford. Once we service it, then of course it'll send you a message to let you know that they're on the way back with it. Of course, you can call, pay for it over the phone. So, people that have busy schedules and like me, have kids playing baseball all the time and different things, it's a really good system because you don't have to worry about taking time out of your schedule to get your vehicle serviced. They'll actually just come get it for you, service it, bring it back, and all you have to do is call and pay for it over the phone.
All right, just a few seconds to talk about tires and batteries, and we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, we're doing tires. Ford had a great deal on tires. The sale's over now, but back in March, they had a deal where you buy 3, get 1 free. We had a lot of people take advantage of that. I think there was about 40 people where we did set the tires. We're doing tires continuously. We've got 2 tire machines. We've got the latest, greatest equipment at our new facility. So if you need a set of tires, Ford will meet or beat anybody's price on tires. And, of course, a lot of times them tires have rebates. There's some tires right now that's got rebates up to $100. So you buy a set of tires, get them put on, and then you just go on and fill out a little thing online. They'll send you a $100 gift card. Our batteries right now, batteries, like I always say, is kind of like eggs. They've gone up in pricing, but, we do a battery for $199.95. That's installed free on most vehicles. So, everything that we've got at Bates Ford, we try to be competitive and give you the best price and the best opportunity to do a great job.
Paul, thanks so much for being with us this morning. Stay dry. We'll do it again next Thursday.
Thank you, Coleman.
All right. Paul Tubbs, the dealer operations manager for Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road. The dealer will trade for anything it don't eat. All right, 11 and a half after for a Thursday morning, and I want to welcome Jerry Ashley, who is a member of the Lebanon City Council representing Ward 2. Good morning.
Good morning.
And you're right here live in studio with us this morning. Anything you want to say about the weather last night? You were telling me the alarm went off and woke you up.
Yes, the alarm started, I think, about 2:45, and I've been up ever since. So it's going to be a long day today. I have a busy day, and I'm going to be sleepy. I'm already dragging.
I appreciate you taking time to be with us, but one thing about it, we have to schedule things a little bit in advance, except occasionally somebody will not be able to come, or I have slipped up and not got somebody and look and say, hey, who am I going to have tomorrow? That happens occasionally, but pretty much we try to reserve this Thursday for the first Thursday in each month for a member of the City Council. It doesn't always work, but we're glad to see you today.
Thank you.
I think this is the first time for you to come here as a member of the City Council. You were here during the campaign and your election, what was last November?
Yes.
Well, let me just ask this. It's probably hadn't been exactly like you expected, but have there been any real surprises becoming a member of the Lebanon City Council?
I don't think there's been any surprises. I mean, I don't think you really understand what the job entails until you get involved in the job. So, I mean, I think one of the things is, and I'm sure it's true with all wards, but it's a lot. I mean, I spend time every single day dealing with, code issues, flooding issues, just general concerns or discussions with people in the ward, and I mean, I'm really enjoying it.
Does it take maybe a little bit more time than you envisioned in the beginning?
Maybe so. Yes, yes. I mean, I think it's real. And again, I never assumed that the job entailed going to 2 city council meetings because obviously, being new at this. I try to study the agendas, and a lot of times that, some things are new to me and they're foreign to me, and I have to do my research, and I have to go to the city and meet with various people in engineering and planning to, get some foundations on some of the things that show up under the agenda.
Have you established a rapport, at least with some of your constituents?
I think so. I really do. I have, I've tried to get involved with all the nonprofits that are in my ward. I have been meeting with small groups of people throughout the ward. I think I've established some really good relationships with people.
Okay, let me ask you this, and we'll go to a break. But
okay.
What is there a number one thing that's on most people's minds, or is there maybe 1, 2, or 3 things you could mention quickly here that people are concerned about?
Well, I think that the general consensus is we don't have the things in Ward 2 that other wards have. And I think I've sort of reached a conclusion about why that is. I mean, we don't have the buying power that other wards have. I mean, obviously, grocery stores, pharmacies, they look at our spending habits, and we don't have the spending habits that some of the other wards do. So, my goal is to try to enhance that so that we do get the spending power, so that we will be as appealing as other wards, so that businesses will want to come into our wards.
Okay, with that, we will take our break. Jerry Ashley, representing Ward 2 on the Lebanon City Council, my guest this morning here on Coleman & Company, FM 98.9.
Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford, get a battery installed in most vehicles, $199.95. Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road. Now in traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. It's been a nightmare trying to get through Kingston Springs this morning. We've had several accidents, also in Bellevue as well. It's just been a challenge trying to get in from Dixon County on I-40 going east, headed towards Nashville. We've also got several other wrecks being cleared. 24 east, just past Briley in the Antioch area. It's taken a while to clean up this one on 24 westbound, just past 440. Extra time out here, especially with all that weather there on I-24 that's affecting the drive between Clarksville and Nashville. Hey, if you recently suffered hail damage, storm damage to your roof, call Independent Roofing Specialists today. Check them out online, irsroofs.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Hey, this is Paul with Bates Ford. Come visit our location at 1780 Franklin Road. We have over 300 vehicles to choose from, a state-of-the-art service department, free pickup and delivery. You can visit us on the web at www.tonybatesford.com or give us a call at 615-444-8221. That's Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road, the dealer that will trade for anything that don't eat.
What is your passion? How can you use that passion to enrich your community? Hi, this is Melanie Minter, President and CEO of the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. Your chamber is the resource for making connections to fulfill your passion. Whether education, nonprofit, agriculture, entertainment, or government relations, Wilson County offers a place for you to be involved. Your chamber connects businesses, individuals, and your passion to the community. We have an enthusiasm for excellence. Join us and catch the spirit. Call or visit our office at 149 Public Square in Lebanon.
We continue. Thanks for joining us a Thursday morning. And Jerry Ashley, our representative from the City Council, Ward 2, is with us this morning. Anything else you want to say about maybe the needs of some particular needs of your ward? You did say that it's a little bit more difficult maybe to get businesses to locate there because of the way it is, and you're working on that. What are some of the other things, or are there other things really you're greatly concerned about?
Well, I mean, I think those are there are key things, and obviously, when you start talking about Ward 2 and Ward 3, I mean, we're the old wards, and we have a lot of infrastructure issues that other wards don't have. So, I'm constantly dealing with crumbling sidewalks, unsafe sidewalks, drainage issues. Fortunately, we do have a big project, and it's, a federal supported project that is in its final stage that is going to impact some key areas in my ward and get new sidewalks. So that's going to be super positive to get that. I mean, I know one is going to be all the way down from the bypass and turning into Market Street and going all the way up Market Street. I think CL Manier is targeted to get new sidewalks. So, again, we have a lot of infrastructure needs, and people bring that up. Those things are really important.
What about just the more basic as far as water and sewer? I would think some of that, if it hasn't been rehabbed, is going to need it before long.
Oh, yeah, I think so. I think that is when there's an opportunity to redo some of those things. They are being done. And, I know like on the square, which is not in my ward, but there's a big project going on right now to address that very issue that has not been addressed in a long time.
Jerry, I want to mention something that's come up recently in the city council, and I think this would be a good time to bring that up. The vote was 4-2, and you had the second reading, I believe, this past Tuesday night.
Yes.
This is something the mayor supported. He expressed his feelings about it very well, and I won't say at length, but adequately for sure yesterday when he was here. But I just wondered about the opposition of you two ladies who are on the council. You were the two no votes.
Yes.
What entered into your decision, and what's going on there?
Well, I think the whole concept of the city.
And if you might explain just a little bit what we're talking about. I didn't hardly.
Oh, yeah. So the issue, and obviously this has happened many times in the past, but the issue, this has been the first time it's come in front of me, but the issue is relationships between developers and the city, and things that are needed or come to a head as a result of a development. So in this scenario, there's a large piece of land off 109 that I think it's 100 and something acres that it's going to have a Walmart, in the front piece of the Walmart. I think there's going to be a lot of apartments. This obviously was approved some years ago. And now it's, these things take time, and now it's coming through fruition. And clearly, there was some safety concerns that developed as a result of this big development that's going to go in. And, we already have a lot of traffic on 109 already, but clearly that development was going to need some improvements as well in order to accommodate, bringing all that new business to the area as well. So my issue with it is that I think that we need a system in place. Obviously, the argument from the people who agree that this should move forward, and I completely understand, these arguments, is number one, it's a partnership. There are safety issues. Obviously, we need to address safety issues. Some of the safety issues were created from this big development, and some of them were pre-existing already in terms of what were going on at 109. The other issue is by partnering with that and the $1.2 million that the city was going to go into that, we have a very viable argument that we can get quick recovery in tax dollars and get that money back. So that's a really good argument, and I understand that piece. My issue is that I think that we need more continuity in terms of these relationships. And none of these relationships are orange-to-orange comparisons. They all bring, different concerns. But I think that when we are talking to developers and new things are coming into the city, that we as council people, or we as a city, need to be able to tell developers that we do have partnerships, and here are the parameters of our partnerships. And this is just something that we probably all need to talk about. But, what safety concern did they create? What's their piece of this? What pending safety concerns do we have that is another part of this?
Well, the mayor, in expressing himself yesterday, seemed to think that we had a real fine solution to this, and that it was almost as if he didn't understand where you were coming from on this, and is this that this might even be a way of the future? The city invests a little bit going to get their return in sales tax dollars.
Well, I understand
and you're
that
not
piece.
arguing that part.
I'm not arguing that part.
Right.
And I'm not arguing the safety part. I understand there's two components. There's a safety issue and there's a rate of return issue.
Mm-hmm.
The issue that I have is I think that we need more continuity in terms of how we work with developers, whether that's developing 15 key issues that are important. How quickly can we get our money back? What's your piece of this? What benefit does this bring to the city? So that we can tell other developers that we have a willingness to work with them as well. I mean, we have smaller businesses and we have businesses on the square and we have smaller businesses that are not Walmarts, but they're participating in bringing lights and bringing things like that to promote their project, and they're paying for those. And they're asking us, well, why couldn't I have partnered? I'm going to give you a rate of return that is going to return your money as well. So I just think we need a little bit more continuity. I'm not opposed to it at all. I just think we need some parameters so that we have some level of consistency about how we partner.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we've got about 4 minutes left this morning. Anything, you brought a few notes here, anything else you want to discuss necessarily, or?
No.
We're growing, we're dealing with growth, and that's probably been what's been on your plate, on your mind since you came into office in November.
Well, I mean, clearly, I think a lot of the things that we talk about in City Council, the growth is coming in a lot of other wards. More so, I mean, there is growth in Ward 2, but it's not anything at the level that is occurring in other wards. So, again, my focus is there's some big tracts of land that are available in my ward. And I think that if we're smart about how we develop those, that it could be the beginning of making some changes in the ward to make us more appealable and maybe entice other people to come. I mean, I'm hoping that it will be a tract of land that we can have a grocery store, that we can have a pharmacy, and that it can be something that starts to make that change that gets us up to snuff with what the other wards are at.
Okay, well, as you look at the calendar, here we are into April, and budget time is upon us. And,
yes.
The council has to approve a budget, and you usually have that done before the end of June. I'm sure you're looking forward, and I sort of say that tongue in cheek. Nevertheless, it will be an experience for you, first time to vote for, against, or whatever for a budget for the city. What do you expect? What do you anticipate? What do you expect?
Well, it sounds like it's going to be a tedious process. So, and there's going to be a lot of questions. So it doesn't sound like it's going to be fun, but it's a necessary evil. And I think that we always get the backup information that we need in order to make decisions. And that's what I would expect.
Well, have you paid much attention to the budget since you took office?
I mean, yeah, I have. I mean, I've definitely sat down with Stewart and gotten, some lessons in our budgets and our line items and what we can do with certain line items and what we can't and things like that. So, yeah, I've definitely paid some attention to it.
Well, what you've seen so far, you fairly in tune with what we are, where we're headed.
I think the city's in a really good spot. I mean, I think that we really are. I mean, obviously we're growing and there's things that are coming that are going to bring more tax dollars. I mean, there's always a population of people that are angry because they don't want us to grow. And I tell people there's really nothing we can do about that. We don't own land. Individuals own land, they sell it, and we can't stop people from selling their land. And provided it's zoned correctly, then people have the ability to do what they want to do. We just have to try to manage it the best way we can.
Anything else from your constituents that I'm sure you get calls from time to time. Some of them might be pretty trivial. We might even laugh at a few if you reveal them all. But people are pretty serious about their requests and when they contact you, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, but I think people have been great. I mean, I think they have really been great. I mean, people obviously have concerns, and I try to listen to them and address them, and I can't always give them the answer that they want to get, but I think they appreciate the candidness that, there's some things I just can't do anything about. So I think the word's been very responsive.
And so far, so good. So far, you're having a good time representing them, Ward 2.
I am. I absolutely am. I'm honored. Yes.
Well, I hope you've had a good time being with us this morning. We appreciate your visit.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right, Jerry Ashley representing Ward 2 on the Lebanon City Council, and that is part one of Coleman and Company. We've got more. Hope you'll keep it right here, FM 98.9.
Let's see what's happening on the roadways, and it's all brought to you by Absolute Kubota. They have a deal designed to keep you ahead of schedule. Check out the world's #1 selling compact excavator plus 0% financing. It's going on now until the end of the year. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Trying to get through Kingston Springs has been a challenge, and it got shut down earlier on 40 eastbound. That's really delayed a lot of folks coming in from Dixon County this morning, headed towards Nashville. We had several accidents scattered down the interstate on I-40 between Kingston Springs and Bellevue. It's still a mess over here as they clean up a wreck 24 eastbound at Briley. Wet driving conditions coming in from Clarksville this morning on 24 headed towards Nashville. As you come down I-24 there through that section of Cheatham and Robertson counties, just a mess because of the heavy rain. Princess Hot Chicken has karaoke tonight. Check it out online at princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Hi Phoenix fans, this is Quinlan Wiley from Noonan, Georgia, and I'm a senior pitcher for the Cumberland Phoenix. We're fighting for a Mid-South Conference championship, and we want all you guys to be a part of it. Come out to the 6 and watch us battle Campbellsville in a huge Mid-South Conference series on the weekend. All games can be heard online at WANTFM.com, GoCumberlandAthletics.com. Check out the CU website for game times. I'll see you at the 6.
Sunday mornings, we invite you to God's country. Beginning at 7 with Brother Ricardo from Linwood Pentecostal Church, followed by the Gospel Show with Miss Dean, Words of Hope from Randy Rollins, music and message from the Journey Church, Pastor Ferguson from Hillcrest Baptist, Call on God Today with Kenneth Bowen, the Commerce Church of Christ, and Southern Gospel from our own crew. You'll be blessed on air or online at wantfm.com.
We'll have partly to mostly cloudy skies for today. Scattered showers and thunderstorms possible. A few storms maybe on the strong side. Afternoon highs in the middle 70s. Scattered storms continue tonight. Lows in the lower 60s. This forecast brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. With your Severe View forecast, I'm Drew Richards.
We welcome you to part two of Coleman and Company. It's a Thursday morning. Time for us to talk about A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction, located at 728 West Main in Lebanon. And you'll find them on the website, www.agandjohnson.com. Well, we have Hayden White with us this morning. Hayden, good morning to you.
What do you say, Coleman?
Oh, I'm here. You didn't drown, and you didn't get blown away.
I'm drowning in this coffee right now because I need it because I've been up early.
Oh, you woke up with the alarms this morning?
Oh yeah, had the wife scared, the dog scared. Had to get in protective mode this morning.
Well, we've got one of the namesakes, I guess we could say, for the A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction name here, Jim A.G. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Coleman.
Jim, always good to see you. You've been around for a while, and you and Jerry Johnson really started this, back in 1977, I think?
That's correct.
Yeah.
January of 77.
Well, we've got some auctions to talk about this morning, and we better get to it. You've got the flyers there, so tell us what's about to happen.
Well, this Saturday we're going to be up in The Granville area of Smith County, actually,
That's known as Randall Clemens Country.
That's right, Randall Clemens Country. And we're actually in Chestnut Mound, but we're selling 112 acres. We're going to be selling it in 4 tracts up there. It actually fronts Granville Highway and Enigma Road. Of course, there is city utility water there on Granville Highway, and it's been soils tested and septic approved. But we're selling it in 4 tracts. They range in size from 71 acres all the way down to about 6 acres. But some beautiful hilltop views there, building sites, just a real nice 71-acre tract there.
Okay. Yeah, you got open pastures, wooded areas. It's ideal for the farmer, the hunter, anybody wanting to do some recreational riding, on UTVs and stuff like that. You can build the dream house of your life there. We're going to be restricting these homes to 1,400 square foot minimums, stick-built homes. We are going to allow you to build that barn dominium that's so popular now. Yeah. We are not going to allow you to do these modular homes or mobile homes. Double wide homes will be allowed, though, however. But this is some very nice pieces of tracts in the Chestnut Mound community.
And one of them, I think it's 71 acres. That's a nice little farm.
It's a nice farm. And might add, this is only about 3 miles down the road from the Granville Marina there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, and that's this Saturday.
That's this Saturday at 10 a.m.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Rain or shine.
All right. Do you have another one?
We do. A week from this Saturday on April the 12th, we're going to be selling a lot of farm equipment out on, the address is 3000 Highway 231 South, but it's actually in Trousdale County. But it's just about, you go 231 north, across the Cumberland River Bridge, and it's about 3 miles on the right.
Uh-huh.
But we have some nice farm equipment. You have 3 tractors, a truck, hay equipment, roller, balers. We just got all kinds of farm equipment. And then we have, cattle handling equipment, and we have some household goods and things to sell too. But belongs to Mr. Jerry Lanius. You may know Jerry, but
well, I know the Lanius name.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure.
But anyway, he has some nice, clean farm equipment. So hope everybody will come out and be with us there on the 12th.
All right, I just got a note here that Tim Leeper is on his way, so we'll just talk till he gets here. You might get an extra minute or two this morning, but I was just thinking. There's Jay, Hayden's father. Jay and Hayden are Jay White is pretty much A.G. and Johnson anymore, but you're still there too. He, I understand, is the owner, but Hayden is his son, and here's the guy that started it. Y'all really do have a good thing going, don't you?
We do. It's worked well for us. Jay worked with Jerry and I for 30 some odd years, and when he decided that he wanted to buy it, I told him that, I'd stay there and help him, but I couldn't promise him 30 years.
and Hayden has come along following in his father's footsteps.
That's right.
And talking with him, he could have done some other things, I'm sure. But
what else do you think I could have done, Coleman? What else do you think I could have done? Do you think I could have been a radio host?
I think you could do almost anything you set your mind to. That's my opinion of you at this point. I hadn't worked with you yet, but you have quite a sense of humor too, and I enjoy having you here, and it's good to see somebody coming along. I think always following their father's footsteps.
I'm just trying to make a living.
Yeah? Okay. All right, well, keep these 2 auctions in mind, and if you're wanting to have an auction, you certainly want to consider A.G. and Johnson. Y'all been doing it, I guess, all these years. Auction's been one of the big things for you, hasn't it, Jim?
It has.
Yeah.
We've always been in the auction business.
Yeah, and if auction's not your way to go, you have plenty of other people. There are a number of people who are affiliated with A.G. and Johnson. The numbers, you've got 2 or 3 dozen, hadn't he? Maybe 35, 40 people that are.
I don't know. I guess we have 20-some-odd agents, something like that.
Anyway, there's somebody for you at A&G Johnson Realty and Auction. You can give them a call at 615-444-0909. And again, find them on the website, www.agandjohnson.com. Thank you all for being with us here, and stay dry, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Coleman.
Thank you, Coleman.
All righty. We're 21 before the hour, and Tim Leeper joins us this morning for his visit to Coleman and Company. Tim is here, and I don't know what all we're going to talk about this morning, but of course it's Tim Leeper Roofing and Mama's Metal Roofing, and anything else that we want to talk about this morning. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing, Coleman?
All right. You get enough sleep last night?
I got enough. I went to bed a little later, but I also woke up a little later. I woke up a couple times during the night checking the weather because wasn't for any other reason, but I just want to make sure we didn't get swept away with one of these tornadoes that were coming through. So
right. Well, Tim's taking another sip of coffee here, and I didn't have Helene to bring me my second cup this morning, but that's okay. We go to a break. I might go get one. Tim, of course, is with us to talk about the roofing, and we've talked about we always mention Tim Leeper Roofing. We always mention Mama's Metal Roofing, and you have a choice: shingle roofing, metal roofing, and I'll bet you with the rain that we've had here, you're probably going to get a call or two for some repair work.
I'd say so. I'd say the winds was up high enough in some areas, and I heard them talking last night, even before the sun went down, about hail, in different parts, and they said that these cells are kind of sticking together. It's going to be a long night, so we heard it, early in the morning. So we'll see what happens. But the hope is that everybody's okay and safe and secure. And if you do have damage on your roof, guess what? It's just a roof. Yeah. And so it's if as long as nobody gets hurt, that's always what you hope and pray for. But whether
well, you mentioned the hail, and I remember too. In fact, I think on TV they showed some pictures of some balls of hail as nearly big as your fist, and I mean that can. Well, Billy Goodman's bringing me a cup of. Thank you, Billy. Appreciate that. The bigger the hailstone, the more damage you probably can expect.
Oh, yes, sir. We've had, back in 2012, if you remember that hailstorm that came through that hit a lot of our county, went down I-40. Well, we were out in a job in Green Hills, and we looked at a couple of chimney caps at that hail. Now, they were kind of deteriorated chimney caps a little bit, but nevertheless, those hail stones went right through that chimney cap, through a metal chimney cap, and boy. That's impressive.
Yeah.
And so it beat the fire out of things during that time. But that was the biggest hailstorm I ever remember, in my years of roofing, which has been about 30 years.
I suppose, I don't know this, you would know a lot better than I do, but I suppose most people have some kind of home insurance, some insurance on their home. And if you have a mortgage with a bank or lending institution, I guess they probably require it. But you probably deal with insurance companies a lot for hail damage.
Yeah, we do. And most of the time an insurance company comes out to do hail damage, they're doing a lot more than the roof. They're doing the gutter, they're doing the AC fins, they're doing the roof, they're doing sometimes windows and window screens, siding, and even into your concrete. Sometimes if it gets big enough, if you've got marginalized concrete, it can go in there and put some pits in your concrete. I mean, your vehicle, if it's not under a garage. So it's limitless what a big hail will damage. It's almost, a fire will take everything out and you have to replace everything. Well, the next, is either, I don't know if hail or flood or is worse I'm not an insurance agent, but hail seems to hit a lot of things.
What's the worst hail damage you've ever dealt with?
Well, the one in 2012 when it was going through those chimney caps, and I had friends of mine that were in Knoxville, and they said it was going through some of the decking up there, the roof decking. Now, some of that decking was, probably thinner decking, but nevertheless, when you hear it's going into the decking and lodging in to the drywall on the inside. It wasn't going all the way through, but that's almost biblical proportion hail there.
Yeah. How do you what kind of relationship do you have with most insurance companies when there's claims to be filed, and how do you work directly with them, or you work through the homeowner? We've never talked about this that I recall. I think that's something interesting to bring up here.
Yeah, certainly important. We work with homeowners typically. Now, we have relationships with insurance agents around the state. And the reason we have a relationship is because we typically don't treat our insurance agents, like we're ambulance chasers. We're not out there knocking on doors trying to find work. That's not how we do business. If somebody has damage, they'll call us, and we'll tell them if you do have damage or if you don't. And many times people will come through these neighborhoods knocking on doors, even without a storm. And they say, we notice you've got damage. Well, what they're really trying to do is get you to file a claim. And sometimes those claims are not warranted. They won't pay for your claim, and it still counts against your claim loss. And you only get 3 of those in 36 months, and then they'll cancel your insurance. And so if you already got 2 and somebody gets you to come put a claim on your house, you could lose your insurance, and you don't want to know how expensive that insurance is when you go into the pool.
Wow. So you need to pay attention. You need a reputable person like you for advice.
What I try to tell people is if somebody knocks on your door, just call us. I'll come tell you if it's damaged or if it's not. If it's damaged, great. If you feel comfortable using those other people and you know them for whatever reason, by all means do it. But don't file a claim if it's a frivolous claim, because those can really cost you a lot of money. Insurance, I know that you know this, insurance has gone up exponentially over the last 2 years.
Yes.
And you couple that with going into what we call the pool for insurance, where you're putting a different pool and you're picked up in the secondary market. It's like having SR22 insurance for your vehicle.
Uh-huh. Okay, Tim Leeper's with us. Tim Leeper Roofing, Mama's Metal Roofing. A break right here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
Let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by our friends at Bates Ford. Get a regular oil change, $39.95 up to 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal. 1780 Franklin Road. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. What a mess it's been out here trying to get into Kingston Springs from Dixon County this morning. It's been shut down on 40 going eastbound. It seems like they're between Kingston Springs there and Bellevue this morning on several different accidents. The weather not helping, that's for sure. Give yourself plenty of extra time out here trying to clean up a crash over here. It's caused a big delay on 24 westbound, just past 440. Still slow on 24 west through Antioch right now, coming up past Bell Road, Harding Place. Hey, if you recently suffered some hail or storm damage to your roof, call Independent Roofing Specialists. Check them out online. Type in irsroofs.com. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
The refreshing cool after coming in from a hot summer day. The perfect temperature to kick off your shoes and relax with a good book. When the weather heats up, a new Rheem AC system will surround your family in total comfort. Are you feeling it? Rheem, the new degree of comfort.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604.
Rheem, the new degree of comfort.
A.G. & Johnson is your experienced real estate and auction company. This is Jay White. Thinking about buying or selling your home? A.G. & Johnson is ready to assist you with an experienced team of realtors. A.G. & Johnson also specializes in residential, commercial, and personal property auctions, which reduces time on the market and have an exact selling date. Call the experienced professionals at A.G. & Johnson, 615-444-0909. A.G. & Johnson Realty and Auction, located at 728 West Main Street, Lebanon.
All right, thank you for joining us here on what's been a rainy and a night of hail and tornado warnings and watches and all of this. Tim Leeper's with us, and I want you to write this phone number down. This is the number you need to call if you've got a roofing problem. That's 615-372-4713. 372-4713, 4713. And Tim answers the phone and takes care of you. And he's local, and if you want if you want to know more, give him a call. You are staying busy.
Yeah, it's staying steady. You know, ever since in the fall last year, there's two things that happened, if you'll remember. It got really dry, and we had a drought. Didn't rain for a good long time, and then after that, we also had a presidential election, which happens every 4 years, but for whatever reason, people get nervous during that time frame. So during the presidential election and the drought, we slowed down, but when the rain picked up in the spring and election was over, we picked back up and got busy again. So it's been a good run for us this spring.
Well, let me just interject something here because John Bryan called me yesterday, and John is the main man, I guess, for the Whip Cracking Rodeo, which is scheduled for this weekend for Friday night, Saturday night out at the Ward Ag Center. And he just wanted me to remind everybody it's going to be hell, rain or shine, but it's under a covered roof, so you don't have to worry about getting wet. The rodeo, it'll be dry where the rodeo is and where you are, and so we'll just remind you of that. Try to remind you again tomorrow. Those of you who love rodeos, this is going to be a great one, and it goes for a great cause as well, Whip Cracking Rodeo. But it will be held rain or shine, and it's covered and very convenient. What else? I know you're involved in a number of things, and you've been to the legislature and testified before some committees and some legislation having to do with our corrections system and having to do, of course, with your son who lost his life over in prison over in Trousdale County, which you are. I think it says a lot about you in a way that you're able to have a business and take care of that. You got some good people doing it who follow directions well, apparently. But you're able to run your roofing business, two of them actually, and at the same time to appear before some civic clubs and before the legislature in Nashville, the powers that be, and explain your situation. And I think you've come a pretty long way. Something's about to happen.
Yeah, it's we're moving it. It's going pretty good. You know, we've been through subcommittee and two committees, and yesterday we were in the House for the Ways and Means Committee for this bill, and got put behind the budget. But we think that we can get it back out because they look for fiscal note. You know what's it going to cost the state, and so there's no real fiscal note. There's actually there's a fiscal benefit because there's a lot more money coming back to the state than there is going out for maybe transfers, so that might be what costs are. But nevertheless, it's going on the Senate floor this morning, actually. So it's going on the Senate floor to be voted on, and if we can get it out of the Ways and Means Subcommittee, we can have it voted for on the House floor. So we feel pretty comfortable that it's moving along, and it has a good chance to become law. And what the bill basically says is that in our private prisons in Tennessee, which are 4, that if the death toll is double what it is in a TDOC facility of like populated sized prison, then they can pull 10% of their inmate population off of the and that costs them money in essence. And so basically what it is, it's a death toll accountability bill. And does it fix our problem necessarily? No, but it's a start. And so you have to start somewhere. And because we weren't on the radar when we first began this process, now we have come on the radar. And what we found is overwhelming, bipartisan support for this. And so there are people on both sides of the aisle said it's time to right this wrong. And so this is a step in the right direction.
Well, I heard, to me, this was a horror story, really. We think that the guards, prison guards, people who are responsible for keeping order in the prison and so on, that all they got to do is just keep everybody straight, which is enough in itself. But that people who are wanting to get drugs into prison are actually threatening them with harm to their families or to their property, stuff like this. I'd never even thought about that. That's awful. And I mean, the prison guard is probably not the most desirable job, but it is a job and it pays decent. But to not only what goes with doing that, but being threatened if you don't let some drug dealer supply some drugs in there, turn your head or whatever is. And if you don't do that, harm's coming to your family. I guess you've heard this. I had not until this happened recently that I heard this story, and I can understand. The problem there, but that stuff like that, we need to fix it. I don't know how.
Yeah, we do need to fix it. What we have found in Trousdale, and we've, hired private investigators to find some of these things out. But what we found in Trousdale is drugs are not coming in one way, but many ways. And so they're coming in from guards and vendors too. And so they're coming in hardy sacks. They'll put their sack across the screening table and say, well, this is my lunch. We don't need to screen my lunch. But it's coming in through vendors that are coming in, and large nationwide vendors, and so it's problematic. And the problem that we see is, when you get as a correctional officer, you get into this job, and you just see death and overdoses and all these things. You begin to be desensitized to those things, and so they don't affect you anymore. You can just go eat your lunch after somebody overdoses and dies, and honestly, that's how it works. Now, I will tell you this, there are some good officers that come through these facilities. Unfortunately, they ended up leaving because they can't assimilate into that toxic culture. And that's what it is. It's a toxic culture. And so Sheriff Bryan sometimes will get some of these COs that just couldn't work out there and look themselves in the mirror every day. And he probably gets some good employees from them not working out up there because they know that Wilson County is a good place to come work.
Yep. All right, we got about 5 minutes left, and I guess we better get back to roofing. I'm going to give you out your number again because Tim is local. Tim participates in a lot of local projects, we'll say here, fundraisers, whatever, a very community-minded individual, and he'll do a good job on your roof as well. 615-372-4713, 372-4713. That's Tim Leeper Roofing and Mama's Metal Roofing. And probably going to be some hail damage you're going to be called on to repair.
Yeah, I would say so with the weather, but that's what we're here for, Yeah. Our job is to put your house back in pre-loss condition. No matter what happens to it, no matter how bad it gets damaged, we can come help you and get you made whole again, because people just want to move on with their lives. They don't want to sit and have a roofing project hanging over their head where they're having damage coming into their home. And so if you do have a damaged roof, we can go out there and tarp your roof, and give you buy some time until we can get out there and get the materials ordered, work it out with your insurance company. And so we keep you dry, and then we're a day or 2 days and we're in and out and your roofing project's new. So,
well, you do quite a bit of overseeing your jobs, even if you're not there during the whole time. Mm-hmm. You're busy guy, but you've been doing this many years. You've had your own business how long?
20 years.
Yeah. So, and right here, one of us, you deal with somebody local, like you mentioned earlier. You're going to be seen at the grocery store, at civic clubs, at church, at public gatherings here, and look these people in the eye, and you've got enough conscience, good conscience, that you want to be able to know you've done your best for them and not taking advantage of them. And this just happens to be one of the industries that a lot of people come from other places, and when there's times of tragedy to homes, when we've had a big storm or something, people come in, and as you mentioned earlier, there are a lot of different ways you can take advantage of somebody. Plus, Well, sometimes they'll want you to pay them some money up front and do a little bit. You don't see them anymore. Being right here among us, we don't have to worry about that when we're dealing with you.
That's right. Well, we do get deposits, but we've always done that. What is every time a storm comes through and every time contractors come in from out of state, it's always on the news. You'll get a BBB alert on your phone. Hey, do not let out-of-town contractors do a lot of work on your house, because when they're gone, so is their warranty. And so if something happens and that brand new roof leaks that costs $22,000 and you have $3,000 in damage, they're nowhere to be found, and so you're out of pocket on that. So really that roof costs you $25,000 all of a sudden. You just have to be aware, because if we do work for you and something is damaged, and you know what, nobody's perfect, and so if we have a leak on a job, we're going to come back and fix it and make sure that it's all the way fixed, and we're going to come back and fix the inside of the house. So if you've got a stain that needs to be painted, we paint the stain. And we don't just paint in that one spot. We'll paint the whole room, because it needs to match. It needs to look good. And so we just can't have one patch spot that's with new paint. We fix it all. We don't halfway do anything.
All right. Well, you heard it. You heard it from Tim this morning. Tim, always good to see you. Appreciate you being with us. And just remember that phone number, 615-372-4713. Tim Leeper Roofing, Mama's Metal Roofing. Our final 30 seconds here. Stay warm. It's warm enough. Stay dry.
That's right. And one more thing, Kylan's Light is our nonprofit. So you can find us on Facebook or TikTok at kylanslight.org.
That's KYLAN''S. I guess you do apostrophe.
You don't even have to do an apostrophe.
All right. KYLANSLIGHT. All right. Thank you, Tim. See you next time. That's going to do it for Thursday. And until tomorrow, I wish you a tremendous day.